Hi there, my name is Steve Gerhardt, and as always, this is the Unagi Observer. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching the video. It is a labor of love for me, so I'm so glad that you're here watching it. This week, we're going to do a review on a nice, kind of sweet anime called Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku. Yeah, that's the name of the title, so let's get into it. Okay, so last time it was Needy Girl Overdose, which was very, very grim, dark, and depressing. Very good, but, and I do encourage people to watch it if that's what they're kind of into. But I felt like we needed a palate cleanser, something nicer, cheerier, kind of a little bit sweeter. And this week we're going to talk about Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku. It has the question mark on there. And this is, of course, on Crunchyroll, so you can see this if you want to. And yeah, I just wanted to put in something a little bit nicer because the actual next video I had in line was a live action movie, which is depressing. So I kind of wanted to break it up a little bit and have something a little bit fun, a little bit encouraging. So yeah, Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku. Let me put on my readers here and give you some of the background information. Written by Norishiro-chan, illustrated by Sakana Uezumi for the manga, which came out on Yen Press. It was in Japan on Monthly Comic Zenin from August 25th, 2021 to the present. So it's an ongoing series. That should be interesting. And like I said, it is on Crunchyroll right now. I believe they are at episode 5. I made it to episode 3. So this anime I gave the 3 episode treatment. So I kind of have an idea where this is going. And so, yeah, this is originally from a manga, of course, as most anime are. And the plot of this is that there's a guy, an otaku, who knew, by the name of Takayua Seo. My Japanese is horrible, sorry. And he's in class, and he's kind of like, he knows he's an otaku. He likes anime in general, manga in general, but he likes this particular anime called Glittermon and everything about it. You know how sometimes you kind of get into a show and you just want everything about it, right? Well, that's this guy. And he's self-aware, but he's not beating himself down, right? He's just like, nope, this is who I am. This is what the deal is, and I kind of understand what that means for me socially and stuff like that. So this isn't like a downer. Like, he's just like, no, I like the thing I like, and I'm unapologetic about it, but I understand what that means. So he's sitting there in class, and he's at his desk, kind of going over, looking at his Glittermon eraser thing, and this really pretty Galru in front of him, blonde, is just like, "Ooh, what's that?" and starts asking him questions. He's like, why is the prettiest girl in class asking me questions? What's going on here? I don't get it." And then this other gal comes up, and she has long brown hair, and she's the second kind of the second pretty gal to come up and talk to him. And she notices that he has this Glittermon thing, and she has this reaction that he notices. He's just like, wait a minute, you know what this is? Wait, you know what this is? Glittermon is, the made up anime. And so he gets into a conversation, at which point, she kind of gets a little flustered. She goes, well, I'm just asking because my little sister likes it. So, if you can tell me information, how to get things and stuff like that, where episodes are, that would be cool. Instead of my, little sister, well, I can get stuff from my little sister. It's kind of like obviously asking for a friend, right? And he instantly knows that. He's just like, wait a minute. I don't think you have a little sister who's into this. Maybe you have a little sister who's into it, but I think you're into it too. So the conversation kind of goes in that vein, and it's a pleasant conversation. Nobody's making fun of anybody. The blonde Galru, who doesn't really know anything about it, looks at her friend and goes, "Oh, you know what this is? What is it?" And she kind of gives off the airhead vibe, but we come to find out that she's not an airhead. She's actually she's the smartest of the three, actually. But anyway, so she, she's just like, "Oh, what's this is about? My friend is interested in this thing that this guy that I normally don't talk to is interested in." And so it's a lot of curiosity of what's going on between the three of them, like trying to figure out why are we having this conversation, and we're being okay with each other with it. So it's just a very pleasant kind of like interaction of people over in a possible shared interest where, you know, instead of just being like, oh, you're a dork, but I'm going to make you better, or, oh, you're the unattainable, gal in the front row, whatever, that everybody loves. No, this is just normal people having a conversation over something, and nobody's being mean. Most importantly, nobody's being mean. Everyone's just being curious. And so the episode goes on, and we come to find out that he's figuring out, and he's that the girl with the long hair, who is Kay, I think is her name. The other one is Kuroko, and Kay is so our protagonist is looking at her going, "Now you're into this. You're an otaku. I'm going to figure out how I can make you admit it. Maybe you have a little sister who's into this, but no, you're an otaku like me over this particular thing. So I'm going to try and figure this out." And so, but he's doing it in a genuine, friendly way, and just not trying to be obtrusive, and sort of navigating things because he doesn't have that many friends. He's aware he doesn't have that many friends, and so he just kind of is grateful for the fact that he can talk to somebody about something that he likes. And this person is being reciprocal about it because this person, ostensibly while doing it for her little sister, is actually into it herself. And the audience knows this, by the way. So this is not a spoiler. You figure it out within like 2 seconds. And then there's the friend, Kodako, who is kind of just like there along for the ride, and she's having a good time with it. And she actually likes our protagonist for the person that he is. And Kay is kind of like a little bit reserved, and she's like trying to be more friendly to this guy. And nobody's really, there is an attraction that happens by the end of episode 3 for everybody. But it's, well, not for everybody. He's kind of clueless. But the thing is that this is very low key kind of attraction, like kind of like going, hey, he's actually a nice guy. I actually like being around a nice guy. Right? And that's kind of their attitude towards him. And they're just like going, yeah, of course we can be friends. Of course we can do this. Hey, we're going to come over to your place and we're going to watch Claremont so that, my friend Kotoko can figure out why you and I like this so much. And so that spawns a whole comedy thing that goes on there. But you get the idea that this is something along the lines of, yeah, probably further down, we're going to have a love triangle. But for right now, it's basically people discovering a shared interest, and through that shared interest, having a good time, enjoying being around with each other, enjoying talking to people, going out and doing fun things, which is new to our protagonist, and he's enjoying it. And he's, while he stumbles here and there, falls down a little bit here and there, the girls are just kind of like going, well, no, we get it. They're fine. You're fine. We're good. We're all good. And it's just such a nice thing. There's no, sorry, my phone's blowing up here, but there's no big drama going on right now. And it's just a very pleasant ease of friendship, and maybe something more that might happen further down the line. So yeah, so that's kind of the plot of the story. It's very, very nice. Animation is fine. You're not going to get anything more unusual than the quality of what we have today for animation, for anime animation, which is basically my saying it's fine, it's good, you'll enjoy it. There's nothing glaring on it. The opening song, which I'm going to have to figure out what it is because I forgot to do that before doing this video, is actually quite good. I'm enjoying that song, so I'm going to see if I can pick that up somewhere. So yeah, should you watch this anime? I think you should. I think you'll enjoy it for what it is. You know, obviously this is one of those things where it's not going to be like, oh my God, the best thing ever. You know, and maybe you'll watch 3 or 4 episodes, shelve it for a while, maybe come back to it later. That's fine too. But I think this is one of those nice palate cleanser anime where after you watch something major or something depressing or something that's just very involved, um, maybe this is something you can pick up and just kind of go enjoy for 3 or 4 episodes, or maybe they'll, binge it and just sit there and just go, that was nice. That was nice. That was nice and pleasant. I'm glad I watched that. So yes, I'm glad I watched the first 3 episodes. I'll probably continue watching this, see what happens. Yeah, it's just a sweet anime. It's just nice, very very nice, a good palate cleanser. So yeah, give it a watch. Okay, so that's going to be it for this week. That was a review for Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku, with the question mark at the end. Very sweet little anime. I wholeheartedly encourage people to watch it. It's just kind of nice. It's just kind of a nice anime to watch. So yeah, give it a go. So that's going to be it for this week. Next week, we're going to do a movie live action review. And then there's going to be manga day after that. We're going to do a review on 2 or 3 mangas that I've been reading. And then we'll continue back with anime or maybe some science fiction. I'm not sure. Not sure which. So yeah, stay tuned and be good out there. Stay healthy because I love you guys. And I want to see you out in the wild, out in the territory, as Mark Twain would say. And yeah, so be good and healthy. And as always, watch more anime.